Okay, hi there guys, I'm Ville and this is a little video on Ghost Recon Breakpoint that just got announced a few days ago. So we're going to go through all the details that we have of the game so far. And this is going to be releasing on October 4th this year, which is very good because it's not going to go to the next generation or next year, but it's still going to be coming out this year, so that's great. And this is basically a sequel to Ghost Recon Wildlands. They actually have some like new mission there that acts as a prequel in Wildlands right now. So that's very cool of the development team. But let's get into the actual information that we have of the game. And I'm going to adding some information that I got from the stream that was after the actual announcement. So Elite Spec Ops Soldier, and the story in this is that you're behind enemy lines basically, so you're being hunted instead of being like hunting. So it starts with the world and the story, and here you can see some of the pictures of the high-tech kind of like architecture in the game. It takes place in the island of Aurora, or actually the Aurora archipelago in the South Pacific. And there's a lot of different biomes, but the story is that there's some Silicon Valley company that's doing like a high-tech, high-security utopia of sustainable eco cities and robotics research. Like you can see in this picture over here, that it's high-tech, but also it's like eco-friendly. So yeah, it's definitely like a futuristic setting in a way, and a lot of drones in the trailer. And this goes more into the story. It says that open world, ranging from barren deserts and dramatic fjords to futuristic cities and Arctic peaks, jungles, and 11 unique biomes. And the developers stated in the stream on Twitch after the announcement that the main island in this game is as big as the whole map of Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is insane because if you played Wildlands, that world is very, very big. So this is an archipelago, and the main island is going to be as big as the whole freaking map in Wildlands. So that's great. That is awesome. And since it's an archipelago, then definitely there's going to be more islands too. So it's going to be even bigger. So very good. Very excited for that. A big freaking map. And then it says here that you can charge into battle by air, land, and sea. And this is cool because one of the best things about Wildlands is the vehicles, and especially that you can fly helicopters. Like Metal Gear Solid 5 is a great commando game, but you can't fly helicopters in that. But in Ghost Recon Wildlands, you can. You can take a helicopter, you can get your friends on the helicopter, you can shoot from the helicopter, you can jump out of the helicopter, you can parachute straight into the middle of an enemy compound if you want. So that air element in Ghost Recon Wildlands is very cool and very handy of doing all sorts of infiltration missions. So they're keeping that in this game, which is very good. And then the sea, because again it's an island setting in the South Pacific, there's no doubt and hopefully gonna be more sea vehicles or ocean vehicles, whatever. I think at Wildlands they had like just some gunboats or something, and that was about it. So you'd think that they would be like diversifying this as well. And then it talks about co-op experience, and that's what Wildlands was all about. It had great co-op, great single player. You can play solo, but also co-op, and that was so great that you can actually play with your friends and you can coordinate your attacks. So that's what made Wildlands a very fun experience. And this talks more about the story that the wolves, former ghosts who have betrayed their country, and they have a lot of high-tech equipment that they're fighting with. This is kind of like haven't played the Fallen Ghosts DLC to Wildlands, but this kind of sounds like that. That is like a highly skilled spec ops force that you're facing. And like I said, that there is currently a mission going on in Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is a prequel to this whole scenario. That I think you're going to be playing with the leader of these mofos in that mission, and then something happens. I don't know what happens, but eventually they're going to end up on the other side as you. So go check that out. And then we got some game details. I know there's a map behind here too. Good lord. Is this accurate or is this just some general? Maybe it's just some general stuff. But the military survival, yeah, they're definitely trying to emphasize the survival here. So injury system, you're gonna get injured in the game. You're gonna be shot in the leg, and then you're gonna be injured, moving slower, etc. So that's an interesting addition. And then it says that steep slopes will make you slip and fall, etc. Snow will slow you down as well, and properly managing your stamina will be essential to surviving. Basically, what they're saying is that you can fall off cliffs and injure yourself, and terrain is going to make you slower, and there's going to be some sort of stamina system in the game, so that's interesting. Then they're talking about the bivouac, which is some sort of temporary camp you can have. And you can clean your weapons, change classes, craft items, upgrade gear, etc., etc. Select the desired time of day and weather. That's cool. That's very good. That's actually what they added to Wildlands recently, that you can change the time of the day. And that's very handy because it does matter in certain situations, or you just want to have more light in the world, or you just want to do a night strike or whatever. But this whole concept that because you're now in enemy territory, that you're gonna have these small kind of guerrilla camps in the middle of nowhere, this fits the theme perfectly. In Wildlands, you have safe houses because you are going there as a foreign power to Bolivia, I think, and so you have these safe houses set up there. But in this sort of settings, you wouldn't have a safe house. You would just be hiding from the enemy in the wilderness. So this is a really good take on that. And yeah, you can change classes there too. And then they're talking about the body carry, that you will have to take your allies. You can carry your allies if they're really hurt, and you can also carry the enemies into carry like taken down enemies so that they will not be discovered, etc. And then there's a section about stealth here. Prone blending. This was emphasized multiple times, that when you're on the ground, you can get like some camouflage from the ground, whether it's snow or dirt or mud or whatever, to blend in more in the environment. And then about the enemies, that the enemies will communicate amongst themselves to hunt you down if detected. With a wide variety of AI archetypes and behaviors, no two encounters will be the same, and there's a lot of drones and other robots to hunt you down as well. So that will be interesting, that um, the enemies are supposed to be smarter this time, which will be especially brutal if you're playing by yourself, because there will be no AI companions if you're doing this solo, which is great. So you're either doing the game co-op, or you're gonna get freaking total solo experience. Because in Wildlands, the AI companions, they were kind of like meh. They were either very useless or they were super overpowered. So I think it's better that this time they did it like you're gonna do a true solo experience if you're playing by yourself. And then they're talking about the adaptive cover. Ghost body position will match available cover and execute advanced tactics, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the classes, that there are 4 different classes this time. Wildlands didn't have any classes in it, but this game will have classes with apparently different skill trees and, well, different skills, etc. And so they have 4 classes, the sniper class, then you have the panther, which is the stealth class. Apparently this red shirted guy is the assault class, and then I guess this is a heavy weapons class with the rocket launcher, etc. And they were only talking about the sniper and the panther in the stream after the announcement trailer, and they basically said that the sniper can have like 3 extra bullets that do more damage and less or more like more length to holding breath, probably less swaying of the scope, etc. As you'd expect from a sniper class to be more efficient as a freaking sniper. But then they went on to the Panther, which is the stealth class, and this was very interesting because they said that the Panther can have smoke bombs that you can throw on the ground to kind of like, destroy the enemy's field of vision and just get out of dodge. But also the Panther class moves faster, is harder to detect, and will not get access to heavy weapons. But if you're using silencers, and you probably every weapon will have a silencer with the Panther class, there's no damage reduction. So if you like using stealthed weapons or silenced weapons, and why wouldn't you, then this Panther class will do full damage with the weapons. So this is a very interesting take. So I will be very interesting to hear what the assault class, what is their like specialty, and the heavy weapons guy, is he all about explosives or what's going on? I mean, the explosives were great in Wildlands. You didn't have a rocket launcher, but you did have grenade launchers. And those did massive damage. You could just bring out helicopter, blow up helicopters, blow up, vehicles, etc. So very, I think this is a cool new take on it, because in Wildland it's just like, use whatever gear you want to use, but realistically you would have specialists. You would have specialist people who are using only certain kind of gear and specializing in certain way of fighting. So I think this is a very interesting take and very cool new take that they're gonna have classes here. And they said that it's saying here that okay, just like the cosmetic customization, thousands of options. They said that this is going to be the same as in Wildlands, even more, that you're going to have tons of customizable clothing, etc. to use. But if you look at these guys here, you would think that all of these different classes will maybe have different sort of attires compared to each other. Because, I mean, the sniper is going to be using a ghillie suit, etc. But anyway. So that's good. The customization was really good in Wildlands. So much options there, so many patterns. And yeah, they said that you can switch these classes at any time in the bivouac tent thingy. So you can just try out whatever. So that's very cool. And then they went into game modes and progression. And basically what they said here is that there's gonna be a PvP play mode straight out of the gate here. I haven't even played PvP in Ghost Recon Wildlands, but that's there straight out of the gate. So for people who are interested in that, that's good. Then they were talking about that you have like a persistent character in all game modes and activities, whether it's solo, co-op, multiplayer, whatever. Then it's gonna be the same progression for the character, which is good. This is like Monster Hunter, that you have a character and you can use it in single player, multiplayer, whatever, but also PvP, I think. All functional and cosmetic customization carries over, allowing you to play your way. The only thing that I'm worried about this is that will they have different save slots? Like if you look at Far Cry, which is notorious for this, they only have one save slot. So if you're playing with your friends, that's it. If you're playing by yourself, that's it. Like you can't have different save slots that I'm playing a single player game by myself, then I have another save slot for playing multiplayer with someone, and that's super dumb. That's super dumb. But Wildlands has different save slots, so I hope they keep that because it's totally you're playing like a different game. If you play by yourself, that's a different game, and then you can start another save just to try something out, and then I mean, Wildlands has these super hardcore modes, etc. So you can do all kinds of runs with different difficulties. If you're starting a game with someone else, then you want to be on the same level as them and not be super overpowered with everything unlocked. So I hope they keep the different save slots in this game as well. And then they go to the raids and end game and post launch. That every 4 months, new seasonal post launch content will be added, etc. And first time in Ghost Recon franchise, they're putting raids into the game. So that's something to look for if you're into that kind of stuff. Same as Division. Did they release that raid already? I think they did. So there we go. That's basically Ghost Recon Breakpoint in a nutshell, everything that we know about the game so far. If you guys have some other bits of information about the game not included here, then post it down in the comments. And I'm very excited for this game. Wildlands is the best commando game that I played. Like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a great commando game, but I think Wildlands took some ideas from that game and made it just even better. That you can play solo, you can play co-op, and it's still very cool. You have thermal visions, night visions, you have grenade launchers, you can parachute out of a helicopter, you can do artillery strikes, you have drones that you can fly around and scout the whole freaking area. There's so many cool things that Wildlands has. So this seems to be continuing in the same vein and just making it bigger and better, and like fresh ideas like having the classes and now you're behind enemy lines, etc. So I'm definitely very interested in Ghost Recon Breakpoint coming out in October 4th. So hell yeah. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for this game? What are you like? Are there some features that you think that are cool, or what you think it's still missing, or what's your opinion on this Ghost Recon Breakpoint? Like I thought the gameplay trailer they didn't have the HUD on, so that was kind of like okay. Some people like playing without the HUD because they want like a super hardcore experience, but I like having the HUD. So I think the trailer maybe didn't show the gameplay as it's gonna be for most of the people playing with the freaking HUD. But that's been the beauty about Wildlands, that they have updated the game constantly with new missions. They have put new gameplay features in and quality of life updates on it. And Wildlands has had all the difficulty levels. You can play with easy, you can play with extreme, you can have a hardcore character that dies. If when they die, they're permanently wiped out. And you can play without the HUD or with the HUD, etc., etc. So there's a lot of flexibility on the difficulty level, and the dev said that it's going to be the same thing with Breakpoint, that you can choose what sort of challenge you want. So that's the beauty of these games. But yeah, that was that Ghost Recon Breakpoint in a nutshell. So thanks for listening and watching and whatever. And see you guys next time. Bye bye. Take care. Have fun. Boo.